If you don't have wide flaring lats or thickness from the top to the bottom of your back, you're probably doing the wrong back exercises. Today I'm going to show you the only back exercises you need to do and how to do them correctly to build a pro level back. All right, the first exercise I think you absolutely should be doing if you want to build a bigger, wider back, and you should do it at the beginning of your back workout, is a cable pullover, especially with a rope or any other kind of handle that's going to let you push your hands past your body. Your lats were designed to do two things primarily: push your arms down and back, and that's what this rope, straight arm push down, or whatever you choose to do will do. So I'm going to show you what people are doing wrong and what I used to do. So I will say this isn't wrong technically, but what happens here is you start to get more weight, or as your back starts to get fatigued, your triceps will start to get fatigued as well, and all you're gonna do is fill in the triceps. So people are locking their arms out and going straight. Again, not wrong, but the better way to do it is to bend those elbows, keep them in that bent position, and what I'm focused on doing is pushing my elbows down and then back past my body. So I'm going stretching, pushing down and back. So all that we're really doing here is going from a straight arm to a bent arm, and I'm focusing on pushing elbows down and back, overemphasizing a stretch, push elbows down and back to get good peak lat contractions. Sets and reps here, probably 3 to 4 sets. Like I said, at the beginning of your workout, 3 to 4 sets. And I don't like to go below 12 reps here because I feel like the heavier you get on this one, no matter how good your form is, the tension is going to transfer from your lats into your triceps. So 3 to 4 sets, 12 to 15 reps, keep your form immaculate, keep the target or the tension on that lat. Next step in the order, and the next thing I think you should be working every back day is some kind of pull down, preferably a single arm cable pull down, which I'm about to show you now. These have become increasingly popular over the past 5 years as a lot of top pro guys have seen it work for them, and it's kind of trickled down into social media and people like me. So I'm going to show you what you're going to see with back training. If you don't align your body, your elbow, your hips, everything correctly, you're not going to feel it in your lats like you're supposed to. So I'm going to show you what most people do. Most people are just kind of sitting here, and then they're supposed to pull down, so they're just pulling down, which again, that's giving me pretty good contractions. What you really want to do is turn the working hip toward that machine, so toward that pulley. So instead of being neutral here, I'm going to turn that pulley, or that hip toward that pulley, my left hip toward that pulley, and that's going to just shorten that length that hip and that lat have to go. So from there, I'm taking my hand and I'm turning it slightly, so not all the way over, about halfway between here and here, and then I'm focusing on bringing this elbow to my hip. Instead of just pulling, I want to get a good stretch in that lat and pull my elbow to my hip, and I'm also keeping my body tilted toward that hip. So like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of things you got to do correctly in back training with your body alignment to make sure your lats are taking almost all the load, and this is it. So my hips are turned, my hands slightly turned, my elbow's driving toward my hip, and I'm tilting my body toward that working lat. Just getting really good contractions. So work this one, 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps, every set trying to add a little weight and try to get as close to failure as you can on every set. Really squeeze that lat and work it hard. Next, let's move into a rowing pattern. So the first rowing pattern I like to do is some kind of row, we call it low row. So whether it be a dumbbell row where you're pulling elbow to hip, bend over row, whatever it may be, I like to do some kind of low row where my elbow tracks right next to my body. So for the sake of today's video, I'm going to show you with this cable. I'm doing a partially pronated grip here because, again, just like on that pull down, we want that elbow tracking. On this row, we want that elbow tracking next to my hip. So what you'll see on this demo, I'm going to show you first of all what people are doing when they do any kind of row. They're just pulling. They're almost doing a bicep curl, and they're just pulling. What you want to do, same weight, all I'm doing here is adjusting where my elbow's driving. My elbows are tucking toward my hips and coming back. My elbows are close to my body. Because again, I'm trying to work those low lats, right where my lats insert to my hips. Almost imagine trying to scrape your legs with that bar, poke your chest out as you pull. Elbows track low and next to the hips. If you don't have this exact handle attachment I have, that's okay. Just pick something that's let you get underhand, hip width, and tracking those elbows straight back. That's how you properly target that lower lat. Sets and reps here, we want about 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps, trying to increase weight every set to get close to failure. Before we move on, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have tons of videos on not only how to grow your back, but how to push your leg development forward, how to grow your chest, shoulders, arms. I got everything on the channel, so subscribe if you haven't already. All right, next we want to shift into something that's going to work your upper and mid back, mainly like your teres, your traps, your rhomboids, all that good stuff. So we want to go from rowing and pulling with our elbows tucked. Now we're gonna pull those elbows up high. So I like to do this chest supported, what I call chest supported high rowing. Now, you also do have the option of doing the T-bar row here. I've shifted more to doing these in the past couple of years because the T-bar to me is like the bench press for your chest. The T-bar only lets you pull like this, which is fine. These dumbbells are almost like a dumbbell bench press. I can come from here and I can really pull my elbows out and apart and really get more of that back work instead of just pulling in that linear path. So let me show you the form here. We're going chest supported. Make sure my chest is hanging off just a little bit. I don't want it too low on my chest. I want here, I'm getting a good stretch here on my upper back, and then I'm pulling my elbows at a 45-degree angle. So I'm not up here, and my elbows aren't here. So the difference, I'm coming up and squeeze on that upper back, let it come down here. And as I come up, I can actually pull my chest off the pad a little bit to really get more of a squeeze through my traps and my upper back. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this 10 to 12, maybe 15 reps to failure. And then I'm letting those dumbbells hang, and I'm gonna superset that with what's called a Kelp shrug. So my elbows are bent, dumbbells are hanging. I'm focused on using my mid traps to squeeze that weight back. So this superset together should fry and satisfy your need to work that upper back trap area that most people are lacking muscle in. Sets and reps here, we want 3 sets of 10 to 12 on both. Again, trying to pick weight that's going to be a challenge for 10 to 12, but our form doesn't break down and we're still hitting our upper back correctly. Last up in back exercises I think you can't do without is a rack pull. So rack pull is going to work everything, your lats, your traps, low back. It's going to work from your bottom of your back all into your traps and everything in between. So I like to work these instead of deadlifts. Deadlifts I tend to find, because you're picking them up off the ground, you're working your glutes and your hamstrings here, and then you just finish with your back at the top, which is fine. But if we're on back day, we're only trying to target our back. So the rack pull is going to satisfy that need. So the first thing you want to do is make sure your rack and your safety bars are set to where this bar is sitting right at my patella, just slightly below my knee, because that's going to really engage everything from those erectors and as you pull all the way up to your trap. So the form here, feet are hip width, my hands are slightly wider than that. We'll call it a thumbs grip distance away from where my legs are. Okay, once I got that distance, I'm wrapping around. I'm keeping my lats tight. In other words, instead of everything loose here, I'm already at the beginning, engaging my lats, squeezing them, and then from here, I'm flexing my erectors to start the movement, and then I'm pushing my chest through at the top and squeezing my traps. The whole time my lats are engaged. Coming down slow, not bouncing, coming right back up, pull my chest through. So erectors work at the bottom, traps, lats work here, traps finish at the top. So again, just like I said, we don't want to be bouncing. You see a lot of guys put a lot of weight, which we do want to do here. They put too much weight and they're just bouncing. They're using momentum right there. We want to make sure we're under control. Here, squeezing that back, coming through and squeezing. Sets and reps here. This is probably one of the only exercises for your whole body, I'm going to say, we're going to drop below the 10 reps. This is not something like the rest of the workout we're trying to quote unquote finesse. We're really trying to put on heavy weight and work 8 to 10 reps. Sometimes I go 6, but mainly I'm in that 8 to 10 rep range, and I'm really trying to push my body to handle as much weight with good form as I can in that rep range. So this is really going to build your overall strength and just really some overall mass in your back. I challenge you to do only those 5 exercises or a variation of each of those exercises for the next 2 to 3 months and see if your back doesn't get bigger. I promise you it will if you execute good form, pick the right weights where you're taking them to failure or close to failure, and consistently hit it week to week. Don't try to vary off the plan and do different exercises. Those are your core back movements, and I promise you if you execute them correctly, you're gonna have a bigger, wider, Dorito-like back. If you like this video, guys, and you want me to see more, subscribe to the channel. As always, stay swole.